Hello, and welcome to the Coffee Shop Chaos Podcast, hosted by Fantasy Soup, your home for pedantic pandemonium. I'm Jesse, an artist for Fantasy Soup, and with me, as always, is Tony, the creator of Fantasy Soup. And today, while we are here to discuss nerd stuff, we are taking a little bit more of a serious approach and getting a little deeper into our mindsets on things, other than just talking about like mechanics and whatnot or cool new stuff coming out. So
Yeah.
Tony, why don't you start us off?
So overarching, we talk a lot about magic on the show, and we talk a lot of magic on the show because it's kind of like a really nice bonding thing that we do together as groups with our friends and stuff like that. There's a lot of game stores that are magic related, and they flex with the changing of times. This is going to be an important part of a lot of nerds' lives where they're going to be rotating from Magic the Gathering into other things. Warhammer's taking an uptick with the new Leviathan set that dropped, and that's going to age out this episode pretty quick. But then you're also going to be looking at a lot of really cool things moving out with like Digimon and Pokemon, and Lorcana is going to be taking an uptick because Disney is an all-powerful deity, and we all praise the Disney. Um, what a mess. But we're kind of looking at it from a nerd perspective of is it okay to take one fandom for another, and if when you walk away from a fandom, do you need to give up your perspective of how you're currently walking? So when I say that, I think about what is a good fandom and what do you have to do to move into the fandom. And I'm saying like a lot of people walk into fandoms expecting everything to be like the old fandom. Magic is a huge community thing. You always need people, and most nerd communities are things that you want to do in a non, I don't want to say normal because being a nerd is kind of normal now. A non-linear path is different. That's okay. That is from like learning how to trombone on a unicycle with a flaming like guitar. Like that's okay to do that as long as you're safe and respectful to other people. But you also have to realize people may shun you for walking away from the things you love. So magic games, board games, D&D, it's okay to walk away from those things as long as you're willing to communicate. Magic's kind of a weird thing because you kind of have a financial aspect behind it. And walking away from like selling all your cards may not be the most healthy thing to do because if you want to continue to play Magic and or modern things like that, sitting on those cards for a long time may devalue them. So you want to kind of, I don't want to say invest in something that you could do in the future forever. So that's why Commander has a very good draw because cards will always be Commander legal. But there's the kind of flip flop. Standard will rotate out, things like that. And getting rid of those cards may be good, but game pieces don't really change much. But if let's say you're like looking at like Warhammer as a big next investment, Jesse, how do you feel about selling your favorite Magic decks for Warhammer?
Like you were saying, it's not really a healthy thing to do. I mean, I've done things like that in the past. And then you want an example is I was playing airsoft for a while, and then my situation changed and I felt like I could use some money more than I could use the stuff. So I sold my stuff, got the money, did other stuff with that money. And then like a year or two later I wanted to get back into airsoft, but I sold all my stuff. So now I have to start from ground zero and spend more money to get into it.
Yeah. And the prices could have changed, things could have got harder to get.
Yeah, they went up. The prices went up. So if I like selling your magic deck for Warhammer stuff, I wouldn't necessarily agree with. Maybe some of the stuff, if you know you aren't using it, or it's like, oh, I love this deck, but I haven't played it in 6 months because of whatever reason, it doesn't really matter, then maybe think about selling maybe not the entire deck, but more of the expensive cards in it, maybe. It's okay to go to a lower power level to keep the deck, but also reinvest that money into something that you want to experience now.
Yeah, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with selling your things, paid
Yeah.
for food, water, shelter, things you really need aren't a good move. But I'm saying I've seen a lot of people sell whole collections of something, especially me. I've done this a couple times, and then you just kind of like, ah man, I wish I really had this, and you kind of miss out. Like I miss. I don't know. I sold a collection of Magic cards back in it was after Cyclonic Rift came out. Cyclonic Rift was a $5 card. It was $5. It was $5 forever. And then I sold all my cards. I had to get a car and I had to pay for like life things, and I was like, all right, these things are worth it. But if I was selling it to get into another hobby and I look back at it, I'm like, man, I really wish I sat on those cards because Cyc Rift went from like $5 to $50, and I was like, oh man, that was a lot of money I lost. They go the other way too. That happens all the time. I mean, if you look at the new Commander Master set that's coming out, like doubling season. Doubling season is going to be like it was $70, $100 card. Now it's going to be printed what 4 times in 2 sets.
Yeah. So it's gonna. You would hope it would drop.
Yeah, but I hope it drops. I don't want other people to hurt because of it. So like game
Yeah.
stores that bought the Cyclonic Rift at a 50% turn in when it was $70 are gonna take a huge loss on this card.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like I don't think which kind of sucks because LGSs are getting kicked continuously. But I think it's not fair for them because they continuously get kicked. And even person to person, like a kid goes out a month and a half ago before all the doubling season was released, and they're like, "Oh man, I finally saved up a bunch of money. I'm really happy about this," and then buys the card. I feel bad for that person because it's like, "Oh, I could have waited 3 months and then done it." But I mean, then proxies. My opinion on proxies is neither here nor there. Um, I feel bad for things like that. But kind of steering it back to the point of getting into new things. I want to really get into the One Piece card game or the Digimon card game because I think they're really fun. I would love to get into Warhammer with you, Jesse. I think that would be really fun for us because Warhammer is really an interesting, like uh, sort of
Game.
tabletop experience.
Yeah.
Games Workshop does a really good job. I just kind of wish Games Workshop wasn't so.
Controversial in their own right.
I was gonna say comically evil.
Oh. I mean, what nerd-based corporation is not a mustache-twirling villain at this point?
Pathfinder.
Okay, see, you answered my question.
I'm good at that.
I like having answers to my questions. It makes me feel good about things, but the bigger ones tend to be because Pathfinder is like a sub path of it diverted from D&D 3.5, I think,
Yes.
which is fine. There's nothing wrong with the Pathfinder game, but the big companies are just insane. They have their own issues, but also
I
you
mean,
shouldn't let the issues of a company prevent you from enjoying what that company can produce or what that company produces.
yeah.
Unless they're like ungodly evil, in which case maybe don't associate with them, but that's a whole different thing. So, yeah, I would love to learn to play the Warhammer game.
Yeah, I think Warhammer would be really
love
fun.
the minis. I would love to give it a shot because they're really fun to do for me.
Yeah.
I really like building them. I just built the Lionel Johnson mini. I built all the pieces, but the problem is, like, I have to leave parts of him unglued until I actually paint him, just because of the way it's structured. I won't be able to paint parts of it until I won't be able to paint those parts if I attached them now. So,
I mean, looking out into other nerdy things that people do, comedians are a big thing. Now, like
comedians, LARPing.
LARPing's huge. I don't suggest anyone giving up everything they love to go LARPing, but
No.
I mean, if you want to, just don't sell your magic cards for it. Don't sell your Warhammer stuff for it. It's okay to start slow. Just because you want to get into it quickly doesn't mean that you have to.
Yeah, wanting to be. I mean, everyone wants to be good at the thing they start doing. If they do something new, they want to be good at it, but the problem is, no matter how much you try, you probably aren't gonna be that great at it to start.
In the beginning, yeah, we're all kind of terrible at stuff, and that's good. That's fine. I would rather be terrible in the beginning of anything than expect myself to be good immediately.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, just try to hold on to some stuff, so you don't have to fully toss away your hopes and dreams for another hope and dream that may not be worth it in the end. And if it is worth it in the end, then sell your hopes and dreams, because at that point in time you already changed your hopes and dreams and burned the world to the ground.
Oh, my.
Harder commitment.
Full send.
I love this. This is everything I ever loved.
Yeah, it's dangerous because of that. People tend to try to build an identity around the things that they like, and
Yes.
the less that they like, the more that becomes who they are, and they feel like they have some authority to speak on it, and maybe they are the authority in their friend group on information based on that thing. And
But
so it can be scary to give up on that, even if it's just temporary. It can be very frightening to people to give up on that, because then they might feel like they're missing out on something, or they missed an opportunity to be that person for the group.
yes, and your friends will, and if they are your friends, there's complex with every situation. If they're your friends, they'll still like you, even if you have different things in common. That's how friendship works. You collect more weird people, so the more weird people you have, the better things can be, and you guys can all grow and learn together. Like, uh, Jesse here is a phenomenal rock climber, and I have no core strength.
I wouldn't say phenomenal, but I can cling to a wall.
Can you pick yourself up with your arms?
Yes,
I can't do that.
I can do pull-ups.
I can't do any of that. My body's just like, what are you doing to me, Tony? And I'm like, I just want to go up, uppies.
Up, I want to be able to uppies myself.
Oh God, I can't uppies myself.
Oh no.
But here's the thing: I can ride a bike for literally 2 days straight and just be okay with it, because my legs are built like trunks.
Yeah, see, my legs do not work well. They do not like that.
Yeah, I was riding my bike the other day and I rode for like 6-7 hours around the city, and I'm like, oh, this is really fun, and I'm like, man, I'm insane. Got home, went to work the next day. Everything was perfect. My legs felt good. My back felt good. I felt better than the day before. And I'm like, I'm more of a ground person. Jesse, you climb that mountain over there and take care of that guy. I'm gonna be down here kicking folks.
Yeah, I'll climb. You stomp.
Yep, I like it. It's a good setup.
We got it. We got a plan.
We just need a long range guy. Somebody with good eyes.
Hmm. I don't think we have one of those.
No, we'll work on that. We'll get more people on the podcast. We'll ask
Figure it out.
everybody their lineup in the combat order.
Yeah. What is your role? Are you support?
Yeah. How do you feel about supplying beverages for everybody? Well, I want to go beat that guy up. All right, well, do you know how to handle yourself? No. Okay, well, here, you hand out the sandwiches. I do
Yeah.
stompies. He does climbing. We're good so
Here's a
far.
health potion. Go figure it out.
It comes back. I can heal gods. All right, we're going on to you, Jesse. We're gonna run on your stuff, and we're gonna see how this goes.
Okay. So what I wanted to talk about was something I was talking about with our group yesterday. It came up in conversation. Just
Mic off.
The like the feeling of being burnt out with fantasy or sci-fi due to the overexposure we're getting lately in media. I know Jake, for instance, pulled up the topic of the concept of multiversal existence, travel, all that stuff is becoming less interesting because of the amount of like videos, movies, shows that are trying to do that are focusing on being multiversal. Like it's a race. Everyone has to open up their multiverse now. And it came up when I was looking online. I'm like, hey, Jake, do you remember when the biggest crossover event was there being an alien skull in the Predator 2 movie on the Predator ship? Do you remember that? He's like, yeah, and now everything has a multiverse. It's like, everything does have a multiverse.
So,
Everything is.
as a side note of this nine tangent of my, I'm a little bit older than you. You know who did one of my first favorite multiverses was?
Whom?
One of my favorite multiverse person, Stephen King. Stephen King has been writing books for so long, and he's done multiverse stuff forever. His book series, The Dark Tower, connects to It, which is connected to.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So Stephen King has a multiverse and has had a multiverse for so long that people they get into the Marvel stuff and Disney stuff and like all that stuff, and they go, oh, multiverse, blah 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 blah, and the fatigue of multiverse. When Disney was going that direction, I was already fatigued of it because I have been in fantasy genre forever, and I was always confused why Marvel didn't get into and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy anyways.
Oh, shit.
Because I need to be that guy. So Marvel has been doing multiverses since the 70s.
In their comics and whatnot, yeah. But the thing is that like everyone's doing it now.
Yes.
Everyone's doing it in a much more popular form, so it just becomes everything now. It becomes if you don't have a multiverse, are you even worth watching? What's the longevity of your franchise? And it's like, why does everything have to be a franchise? Why do you always have to set up something else within that? Why can't it just be a set and done story?
Because of money.
I know why, but just do it. Just tell a story and be done with it. You don't have to make the next big thing.
No. What about the billionaires and millionaires that donate money to these projects? What about their money? What about all their money that they put into these projects? Aren't they important?
Not really.
No.
Not to me. No.
But they but that's kind of how it is right now, because I mean, if you don't look at and this is just me explaining it, and we'll get more into multi after that. If you look at Destiny and you look at Anthem, Anthem was supposed to be the Destiny killer.
So, yeah, I remember that.
So EA spent a bunch of money on Anthem, and Anthem bombed because
so bad.
So because they're worried about how pretty the game was compared to how deep the game is. Now, what's kind of funny is there's games coming out today that are competing with AAA studios that are they're not AAA studios, they're competing with indie developers. Good example of it, Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley bangs the nuts off of 99% of farming simulators because it is as deep as an ocean and as shallow as has no. It's like you step your foot in and you spend the rest of your life playing Stardew Valley, and that's kind of what like high-end developers want. Not EA. I forgot what game studio it was, and the new D&D game's coming out, the 5th edition Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate
Gate.
3.
Yes. It's made
They're
by
making a finished game at launch, and that's insane.
yes, but it's been in beta.
For so long.
Yes.
I bought it in beta.
But it started in beta and it was still a good game.
Yeah.
It
was
had
still fun.
a fun engine, but if that was a AAA studio, they would have released that game as is and then sold you 400 pieces of DLC.
Oh, for sure.
But,
or put it on season passes.
Yeah, which is insane. But
where if you're done with it, then you weren't here for the prior season. Well, you just don't get that content now.
Correct. And you
don't get that story. Go look it up.
Yeah, they looked at it and was like, Divinity was their first game that they did, and they did phenomenal. I played the Divinity games. They're fun, they're deep, they're rich, there's lore, you could spend time. There's over 900 spells in that game. How many spells are in Skyrim? I could tell you right now.
6.
There's 72.
I know, there's so few.
Like, imagine getting into a game and having the customizable abilities for each individual playstyle, game type, and character. It's intimidating. But that's kind of what a good quality game is. It's supposed to give you the option of choice.
Yes.
And when it comes down to a lot of games, you get stuck into the same stealth archer build.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really want
the meta.
Yeah. I want games to have fun, and I want single player games to be more accessible. And I don't think AAA is the way of going. So this switches into the multiverse that we're going, the kind of like the backstory of how I'm feeling right now about the multiverse. The multiverse gives them access to create whatever story they want, but the problem is they're not building off a good chassis. They keep building garbage cars with garbage systems, and they go
really nice paint.
Yeah, like look how pretty it is. It has 2 billion pixels. What does it do?
Oh, you drive in a straight line. And that actually, another side tangent. I know we just got back to the main thing.
No, you're fine. I mean, this is supposed to be our side tangent episode. Episode 11.
The game Battle Brick remastered on Steam. It looks like a Roblox type game, right? Roblox shooter. BattleBit remastered, not BattleBlocks. BattleBit. It's a low poly, massive multiplayer FPS supporting 254 players per server on a near fully destructible map with various vehicles. It's Battlefield. It is Battlefield 3 in like Minecraft, Roblox art style, super simple shit, right? It's not particularly pretty. It's super simple, but what it is a full game with fun gameplay. It feels like if you played Battlefield 3, you would know what that was like. The experience of that, and it's like it's a complete thing. It's fun, and so many people are flocking to this because it's like this is a fun game, unlike the newest Battlefield, which had a slew of issues. Battlefield 2042, slew of issues at launch, so many bugs, so much this, so much that. It's like, oh, why do we have to be operators? Why do we have to be these specific characters. I just want to be a random dude, have some my own personal agency to it, and it's like that's what this game is allowing. You're just normal dude, back to basics, old multiplayer shooter stuff,
Yeah.
and people love it because it's like low poly indie game, but it's fun.
The concept of fun can't be quantified with the amount of dollar bills that they're expecting.
I know the game doesn't have to be beautiful to be entertaining, and that is what this game is proving. It's not beautiful, but its mechanics are in depth and well made. So much so that you will still enjoy the game if you enjoy these types of games at all.
Yeah.
So it's like $15
That's amazing. That's
for what feels like a full Battlefield game, just because it's low poly graphics.
I mean, Ark Survival Evolved was a really cheap game for a long time. Was it free on Xbox for a long time too?
Yeah.
And then it became this huge game, and they were just making a shooter game. They were like, all right, it's gonna have dinosaurs and you can shoot. And it turned huge. And indie games go one of two directions when that happens. They either sell out their brand to a big studio, which is whatever, that's fine, whatever. I'm happy you guys made money. Or they keep working on it forever. Terraria. It runs and they update it. They said 5 years ago, we're not going to touch this game anymore, it's done. Guess when the last Terraria update came out?
Yesterday.
Yeah, like this week.
Wow.
Yeah. We're done updating this game, but we still want to work on it. Terraria still sells 1 million copies a year.
There aren't that many people.
No!
How?
Because people just go like, oh, I'll just buy another game of Terraria, it's fine. Oh, my buddy doesn't have Terraria, here's 2 copies of Terraria. And it's if you make a good game, they will come. And when you make a good movie, make a good when you make a good anything, people will come. But people don't, but like, money only go up. Like, the cancerous thought of anything, like anything, the cancerous thought of capitalism is leaching into games, and it has leached into games forever. But you see the difference between Western capitalism, Eastern capitalism. You see a difference between indie and major studios, because not every indie game is a winner. There are so many bad indie games, but
Of course.
that's okay. If a bad but if a bad AAA game gets made and no one buys it, the economy collapses.
A studio can get shut down for one bad game, even if they've only ever made great ones and then just had a bad egg.
Yeah.
That
And
studio can then get shut down, and you will lose out on everything that they were making at the time that they get shut down, and it's just
but then the thing is, like, and that's how movie studios work it. They look at actors and writers, and it's a good time for an upswing of the actors strike. Support solidarity, everybody. You they Actors and writers are the enemies of producers and CEOs because it costs them money, but they are the ones who make the content. It's insane. It literally sounds like a terrible fan fiction of capitalism. But yeah, I think multiverses are everywhere because multiverses are making money. We'll have to wait until the next new trend of cool things to catch people's attention, and then maybe we'll end up with a good multiverse, like how
maybe
Isekai is.
it'll be like tabletop games turned into various forms of media.
Yeah, I mean that.
The D&D movie did well,
Yeah, but like,
so maybe they'll make more of that,
and the
or
D and D
more
and
Warhammer
the D&D
media.
game is gonna be good. So it's like that.
Yeah.
I hate you, Hasbro. Just stop destroying the things I love.
Yeah. There's gonna be a Magic the Gathering movie.
Uh,
The Rock is gonna play Teferi.
Okay, so I
That just
know
short circuited you.
I'm thinking about it, and I don't know if I'm here for it. Okay, I'm here for it because I love Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a like a smart role. Here's the thing, Teferi's like soft spoken, quiet, and he's like a very like peaceful person. And I just imagine like Dwayne The Rock Johnson doing that, or going the opposite direction where Teferi's
Just
got the
playing Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a blue robe.
oh my god, just Johnny
'Cause
comes
that's pretty much like what he does. He's just Dwayne Johnson in whatever outfit his character is supposed to be.
and he says catchphrases. So I just imagine like
The
Teferi,
eyebrow raise.
a Johnny jumps at him and he just grabs a Johnny by the
He's
throat.
bigger than a Johnny.
A Johnny's 8 foot tall. He's a monster.
I know.
I'm gonna bring you down. Okay, Dwayne. I don't know how I feel about this.
Johnny is played by Idris Elba.
Yes,
That would be good. That'd be some solid casting.
but they don't do any CGI. It's all
No,
just
it's just him with white dreads.
practical effects.
That'd be sick.
Oh my god. All right, we got to cast
I'm here for a Johnny Idris Elba Johnny. I'm here for it.
our magic movie sounds terrifying.
I think maybe we get someone else for Teferi.
No. I like this. Let's.
Okay.
All right, so we have two people. Who's Jace?
Raul Zarek is Jack Black.
Oh my God, Raul Zarek as Jack Black would both be funny and terrifying.
That'd be perfect.
Also,
It's-
Raul Zarek's gay, so who's playing Raul's husband?
Who is Jack Black's music partner?
I know this. It's uh,
That guy. I don't remember his name, but that guy. They can be married.
my brain.
And you know what'd be great about it?
Kyle
is
Gass.
that
It's Kyle Gass.
Kyle Gass. Yeah, okay.
Ugh.
So Kyle Gass will be Raul Zarek's husband. And what's great about it is that Jack Black can still do his music stuff. It'll just be like dubstep.
With lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Jace. I don't know who do we make Jace?
It needs
Gotta be a younger person, I think.
who's the guy who plays Spider-Man?
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. as
Tom Holland.
Jace.
That's Jace. Yeah, there we go.
We need someone to play Chandra. She's got to be young.
I was
She's gotta
thinking
be
that
happy.
just now too. The woman who voice acted Nimona in the Nimona movie.
Nimona movie.
She also played Hit Girl in the Kick-Ass movies.
Yeah, I guess that would work.
She could give her a short haircut. I think she'd make a good Chandra. At least she'd have the energy for it, right?
Yeah, and Chandra's like what, 17 in most of the story.
Oh, well, she is definitely not 17 anymore, but she's young enough that she could pull it off.
Chandra canonically in the Magic storyline is 18 years.
Oh, I imagined older.
No, in like
She has been through a lot of stuff.
in Zendikar, when the Rise of the Eldrazi, she was 16. She was
Oh,
fighting
shit.
Eldrazi's at 16 years old.
Yeah, holy shit. Okay, so what storyline? We got some decent casting. What storyline do we go with? Because we have planeswalkers here.
So we have to go with a underlined villain who's good at being evil, but also isn't over the top evil or can't be solved by a sky beam.
Yeah, we can't start with the Eldrazi or the Phyrexians. That is like movie 7, because this is going to turn into a Fast and Furious franchise, I'm thinking.
Yes, at least was it 22 movies and
Yes.
and 2 TV series.
Tie-ins. Yes.
So I think we should start with just Jace
Raven Man.
alone.
Oh, just Tom Holland.
Just Tom Holland.
And at the end of it, like, Chandra comes in.
No. We play it off as Jace, and Jace comes in and introduces himself to Chandra. No, he introduces himself to Liliana.
Oh.
So
Ooh.
starts
So do
off.
we get to
It starts off with Jace as a young man on the Ring world, working as a
Yes.
young mechanic. We're gonna do Treasure Planet, starting off. So he's gonna have
I
like a
love it.
hoverboard, but
I
he's gonna
love it.
start getting severe headaches. He's gonna take these severe headaches and he's gonna transfer them into learning how to use the psychic waves. And as his spark ignites, he gets thrown off into another world. The other world,
It
he
is
starts developing as a man, and it kind of flashes forward into him, like becoming Jace, that we know him, brooding, still like 21, kind of ugly, has a lot of problems, and he runs into Liliana on Ravnica.
ooh.
That's the start of the movie. I don't know where to go from here.
They run into Liliana on Ravnica, and she's attending Ralzeric's ball. Like Ralzeric's throwing a party or something,
I like it. I like it.
and he's just like the DJ in the background, just DJing off.
All
I
right.
don't know where to go from there, but that's what I got right now.
I like it. I like it. We'll sell it. We just made $1 million. The
Cool.
podcast is
See
over.
you
Nobody
guys.
else shows up. We're good.
Yeah, I think that's kind of. I think we got where we wanted to go.
Yeah, I think Magic and a lot of it's most of our episodes turned into corporation bad, small creator good, and that I mean that's how it's gonna be until we get branded by Wizards of the Coast and we become like brand ambassadors or something, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, all the secret layers are a good thing. D&D
Mm,
definitely should be monetized.
I can hear the pain in your voice.
My heart hurts. My human soul feels like it gets crushed every time I hear all the, like this dumb stuff.
All the dumb stuff.
We didn't even talk about aliens. Aliens are real, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not doing anything for anyone, so the consensus that you see everywhere is who cares? I still have to pay rent and go to work.
My
Or it's like, please, take over the world. You'll probably do a better job.
yeah, and then it kind of runs into the Clerks 2 opinion for me, where it's like, unless Homeboy fucked a Martian once, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Fucking aliens are real. It's okay to take a break from something you love to try something new, even if it means sacrificing some of what that original thing was.
yeah.
And
It's
don't
okay.
get try not to get burnt out on stuff.
Yeah.
Like take a break, man. If you need to take a break, take a break.
Yep.
It'll be healthier in the long run.
But try to communicate with the people that you do things with, so they're not worried about you and you're on the same page.
Yeah. Don't just ghost people. It's not good. It's not good for relationships.
Communication is the cornerstone for any healthy relationship.
Yes, even if it's difficult.
But other than that, I mean, if you guys got to the end of this, it's a short episode for us. We're kind of just running like our lives, and we just want to do kind of a cleanup episode after our live episode, which came out last week at this point. So, I mean, like, subscribe, do all the doodly doos, leave a comment, tell us how we're actually wrong. That would be great. Also, if you can continue this Jace the Mind Sculptor movie for us, that would be cool. You know, fill that in the comments. We'll have
Let's hear your casting.
yeah, we're working on a Discord right now, and we're working on like just doing like a small subreddit. Which I mean, honestly, at this point in time, we're not gonna have any fans, but I'm cool with that because it's nice to start something, even if it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, subscribe, point at Jesse
Look out for those
awkwardly.
episodes.
Yeah, watch
Don't
our. Oh, sorry.
don't point at me awkwardly. I can't handle the attention. Um, be good to each other.
Yeah.
As always, just be good to each other. Show the aliens that we are not all violent monkeys throwing shit and rocks at each other's heads.
Or do. I mean, maybe that's why they don't like us.
Probably along those lines.
I guess that's all I gotta say, and we're sorry.
Nah,
Bye.
we're sorry for sure. Bye.